r/antiwork. Acrobatic Cream 4206 says, why do people claim that having a union will result in lazy and unproductive workers? Literally the opposite in my experience. I first started working for a non-unionized warehouse. Most workers seemed unhappy and grumpy. Who wouldn't be? Pay was low and management sucked ass. People would work their hardest to not work. Shit barely got done, and management was very inept. I barely worked as well. I spent 3 hours working, and I pretty much slept or watched movies in my car. Now through my uncle, I got a job as a clerk in a unionized warehouse. And literally everyone is working their ass off. Most people are lifers, and were generally happy, and in a good mood almost every day. Warehouse workers here start at $25 hour and top off at $39 hour with pension and great benefits. When there's no work to be done, people would clean and do other tasks. Even my supervisors and managers would do the grunt work. At my old job, management refused to do any manual work. Where did this statement come from? Frick man, the head of a warehouse operations is usually doing janitorial work when he doesn't have anything to do. Meanwhile my old operations manager would be in his office sleeping or on his phone for 90% of the time. Scott Twinster says, it's all part of the anti-union propaganda package. This particular bit is there to scare middle management and civilians. Plus it doesn't help that the whole lazy union guy trope has been around for decades, being reinforced by popular culture. Like Sal from Futurama. Not Sure 112 says, just like nobody wants to work anymore. Tangular says, for the wages you are willing to offer. Working in Akolmean says, unions force management to do their jobs, starting with negotiating the rules. Once rules are in place and there is a power balance between management and labor, suddenly the workplace improves. It's not rocket science. Chubisumo says, unions also offer clear structure. As a union member, you get a clear list of your job duties, and if it falls within those duties you do it. If it falls outside those duties, you find the union member whose duty it is to do that work, and have them do it. That clear structure leads to more productive employees, because there is no waffling about what you have to do anymore. In a warehouse environment, this can make things incredibly productive, because the guy who has to load the pallets is the guy who loads the pallets, and nobody else does it. That means everybody can get very good at their job, and do it efficiently. There's no question about whose job is boss. Sleepidorian says, plus you don't have people doing things they aren't trained for and causing accidents. Brooklyn Thick Voice says, I've been a union tradesman in Nick for many years. If you suck, you will get fired. There are no job protections if you suck. The lazy union worker shit is crazy to me. Yes, there is downtime. Yes, we take advantage of it just like any other worker in any other industry. Dark_Jack92 says, I'm lazy and unproductive now. A union certainly wouldn't make me work any worse. Phil Davis says, that argument reeks of I don't want to work out and get too big, or, if you win, they take half in taxes. Yeah, I'll worry about that when we get there. Can we try to get there first, before we worry about limiting the effects? r/antiwork. Lay says fair_for me says, 2 of my 8 coworkers are covered positive, and at work. Our boss pays minimum wage, and won't offer paid sick days. None of us can afford to take time off. Meanwhile my boss has multiple houses, and a brand new high-end luxury vehicle, and only comes to work a few days a week, for a few hours a day. I'm actively looking for another job, and encouraging my coworkers to do the same, but we are all stuck here, until we can find something better. I hate all of this. 2D says, unionize. 378 says, It's a minimum wage job. You can walk out and find another without leaving the shopping center. Most fast food places are paying higher than that. Cactastrophe says, you can actually survive on minimum wage. It sounds like you can't afford to keep working there. Hypothetical Zeus says, go buy good masks/respirator, make it very clear to customers. Lunanex says, I feel like contacting the Department of Labor, or maybe OSHA might help. Shfeet says, get out now. COVID could kill you. Edit, whoever downvoted this, I hope it kills you. Crawler Seek Friend says, make sure to go cough in his face. Roy 217 definition says, make sure those coworkers are near the boss all the time. Shadow 84 says, if you voice your concerns and nothing is done, can you claim workers' comp for injury if you catch it from them? /s. Yala Swag 42069 Nice says, easier to start a union, and with the new changes you don't even need to have a vote. Podjol says, land of the free. Atfla10 says, I got covered for the first time ever. I'm working as a contractor with no benefits or sick days, so I have no choice but to bite the bullet and go without pay. I'm also not getting holiday pay for Labor Day. When I got let go from my former company, I had 60 sick hours. Sesbury says, minimum wage. You ain't even trying. r/antiwork. Herthelfix says, anyone else's boss do a complete 180 when they submitted their resignation? Not sure if maybe this is standard and my expectations for humanity are just a tad too high. I started my first full-time WFH job May 2022. Long story short, my boss acted really nice almost always. There was definition. Times he was annoying, and I did not agree with him, but all in all I'm like, this is a pretty okay person. Anyway, for several reasons I submitted my resignation 2 weeks ago. My last day is Friday. For a few reasons, including my health, I only wanted to give 1 week notice, but I gave 2 because I felt a bit bad giving 1, which isn't really even necessary considering how junior I am. Literally since that day he has completely changed. First day I sent it, he gives me my lazy co-workers work, not the first time I've had to do their work, and I got really stressed. I asked what he wants. Me to prioritize my last 2 weeks. He just says juggle it all. After a few back and forths, including him saying just preparing you for your new job, I decide to take PTO on my last 2 days. He calls and goes ballistic. Some things he says, I've been doing this for 35 years and you're going to tell me? I've been pretty successful with everything, and you're acting like I've been doing it for 35 years. You're really taking PTO your last 2 days? I'm not approving it after all I've done for you. This is how you treat me? X3, you're employed for 2 more weeks and you're working 8 hours for 2 weeks just to clear things up has done basically nothing for me. The more I thought about it, the more I feel like that call has nothing to do with the PTO. He just wanted to say all of this. It doesn't stop there. After ignoring me for 2 days he chats me and says I need to change my team's status from busy to available. Never cared about status before. Then he says on my last day we will have to work in the office. There's no need to work in the office when I can just drop off my stuff at the end of the day. There's also no one there Fridays and apparently the act just broke, so it will be a ghost town sauna. And he kept reiterating how we're going to be there 8 to 5. And just today he cancelled the BS staff meeting we have every Thursday. And then made a new meeting block without me for the same day and time. So everyone will be on but me. All in all has been so aggressive, argumentative, and downright horrible for the entire 2 weeks. How normal is this for people in management roles? The Hypnagogish says, who cares? you're done. You don't have to be bothered at all. If my boss attempted to give me any additional work after I put in my notice, well, I do know I have no intention of doing this, right? Just confirming you're aware. 777 Job says, bad bosses often get personally offended when you leave. Good lesson for the future. Next time remember that 2 weeks is a courtesy, and if a boss starts this crap, just walk out and block their number. Don't let people treat you poorly. Grey Noiser Gaming says, in verse 180 here, I turned in my 2-week notice. Manager ignored me for 2 weeks. Last day I get a phone call. Hey Grey No Eyes. So I talked to the seer and we think we can get you a pay raise from 12.48 an hour all the way up to 15 if you want to stay. While I appreciate you taking the time to approach the seer to get it approved, I know full and well this is what you are hiring new people at. Frankly, I'm insulted you wasted both of our time with this conversation and that offer. Time Giddens 4706 says, dude, once you put in your 2 weeks you're supposed to do the bare minimum. It's basically against the law to go above and beyond at that point. Why are you putting up with any of this? Tell him no, and that he's lucky you're doing your own work. Don't go into the office on that last day other than to just drop your stuff off in the morning and leave. Also, if you have any of this harassment in text, submit it 2 hours. Yeah, you're on your way out, but you still are an employee and he's staying. They probably won't do anything, but it may scare him, and if they do something it's a smear on his file. Medical Examination 65 says, make sure you get a signed and dated document stating you have returned all property of the company when you go in to drop it off, especially if it's going to be sparsely staffed. Sire. Woodman Alejandro says, A. Go drop your shit off at the office tomorrow morning with a note that says I'm done. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe